As for Kathy Fackler, she grew frustrated by what she claims was Disney's lack of cooperation. So she turned to the California state legislature instead.
Accidents should be treated as hard-earned lessons, not dirty secrets to be hidden away.
And after a year of tireless research, lobbying, and testifying, the California law changed. On January 1st, 2000, Kathy saw the rewards of her first long battle.
The law mandates that the parks have to report injuries to the state. They have to allow the state to come out and perform an accident investigation. They have to maintain the accident site just like a crime scene. They can't be cleaning up evidence before the state gets there.
Which they could do before.
Oh, sure.
Just this March, the Walt Disney Company shut down a ride after reporting 3 accidents in 3 weeks in the new Disney theme park. Disney says the company temporarily and voluntarily closed the attraction for adjustments after a few guests complained about the roughness of the ride. And just last week, Disney reopened an overhauled Roger Rabbit ride 10 months after a little boy was trapped beneath it and severely brain damaged. Disney says the ride was safe from the start, but just the same, it went beyond state orders to fix problems. Disney, saying it bases its reputation on safety, also erected more warning signs. But if disclosure was difficult to achieve in California, there's one state, America's theme park capital, where it's been almost impossible.
Florida has the largest segment of amusement park business of anywhere in the U.S.
Right here around Orlando, Florida, are 2 parks owned by Universal Studios, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, and 4 Disney theme parks. None of these parks is required to tell the public anything about accident records.
Those theme parks are exempt from the state law. They don't have to report any accidents, not even if a rider dies. And the consumer has no way of knowing how many injuries a ride at Disney World or Universal Studios Florida have caused to paying customers.
Nor does any government or consumer organization have any right to set one foot in any of these parks to inspect the rides for safety. The state has no involvement beyond an annual consultation. And why is that? Because in Florida, lawmakers have allowed the big theme parks to police safety themselves. Industry critics call it the Florida loophole.
I was deeply disturbed by the fact that this self-protection took precedence over safety.
Remember, the industry claims that theme parks are safe places to be, and this man agrees with them.
If it's not broken, don't try to fix it.
Florida Congressman Cliff Stearns chairs the House Subcommittee on Commerce, Trade, and Consumer Protection. That's the very body that insists on federal standards for other consumer products, but has decided not to apply the same kind of federal standards to theme parks.
We have no statistics that shows there are any fatalities at Disney World in 28 years.
With all due respect, Congressman, how could you have statistics? You don't know. You have no oversight. Do you know how many injuries have happened there?
Well, I just told you, they have not had any fatalities.
But in November of 2000, a patron was killed on this ride, Splash Mountain, when he inexplicably removed himself from the water ride at Disney World while it was still moving. The cause of death was ruled rider misconduct. Nonetheless, the death was officially unreported. Do you know how many injuries they've had?
Injuries they might have, but not of a nature that it's crippling for life.
Tell that to Barry Novak. He claims he has clients to prove otherwise.
People have suffered either serious head injuries, such as bleeds in the brain, or head, neck, and back injuries sufficient to require continuing medical care.
So the question to you then is, who are you representing? Are you representing the parks, or are you representing the millions of people who go to the parks?
I'm representing good government.
In its response to our story, the Disney company wrote in part, "Defining what should be a reportable accident is not as easy as it may seem. Broadly worded definitions produce exaggerated and often inaccurate statistics, which can be misleading to the public." And the congressman worries about a legal free-for-all if entertainment companies, Disney included, are required to publicly report all of the data about accidents. He worries about lawyers, like Barry Novak. Disney alone, for example, says, and rightly so, it has more than 1,000 engineers that are constantly fine-tuning these rides, looking at them to make sure they're safe.
Well, if it's so safe and no need to be concerned, why hide it?
And Kathy Fackler adds, won't patrons be safer, even if there are lawsuits?
They worry that data sharing is going to lead to the destruction of their $9 billion industry, and I think that data hiding is going to lead to the destruction of more families.
And so Kathy Fackler is campaigning for a new federal law authorizing the Consumer Product Safety Commission to inspect and oversee all permanent parks all across the country, including Florida. It's an industry that claims to be a very safe place to have fun, and it may well be. But now its critics are demanding, prove it.
We want to see what the safety record is. We're loading very small children onto heavy machinery, open moving vehicles. That's a dangerous undertaking, and it demands a public accounting. That's all I'm asking for, is a public accounting.
Laws on amusement park safety vary from state to state. You can find an interactive map on how rides are regulated and inspected in your state on our website. The address is dateline.msnbc.com.